Everything was perfect. Good traveling job, happy married life, kids, friends, everything. Suddenly, one fine day, you get to know that you are diagnosed with ALS, a non curable critical illness, and your entire life comes to a standstill. In spite of dealing with the surmountable challenges of ALS condition every day, Rajeev Shastry decides to live every moment of his life with his family and friends to the fullest. कैसे वो इस बीमारी को हर दिन अपने पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड से मात दे रहे हैं, कैसे उनके दोस्तों ने ऐसे वक्त में उनको सपोर्ट किया। आइए जानते हैं उनके इस सफ़र के बारे में उनकी ज़ुबानी कैंडिड टॉक्स विद भरतवी के इस एपिसोड में। Hi Rajiv, hi Seema, how are you guys doing?
Hi Bharat.
Hi Bharat, how are you?
Yeah, hi. Great. So, welcome to my podcast show, Candid Talks with BharatV. So, Rajiv, before we, start getting into the details, I just wanted to understand what exactly is ALS. Can you tell us something about ALS? I believe this goes by the full form of Amyotrophic Lateral Sclerosis, right?
Yes. So it's a nerve degenerating disease. And when you do a Google search, it says fatal nerve degenerating disease. Their symptoms are extremely varied. What it does is basically there are some chemicals which are released by the cells which kills the nerves itself.
So these chemicals are released by the red blood cells or the white blood cells?
So there's something called anterior horn cell.
Okay.
And that is kills the nerves itself. So slowly the nerves degenerate, and when the nerves degenerate, the muscles degenerate with it. So this impacts both the voluntary muscles and the involuntary muscles. And the involuntary muscles like the diaphragm, which is for breathing, the tongue, which is for speech and swallow. So over a period of time, in layman's language, it is something that will cause the paralysis of the whole body.
Oh, okay. So this is non-curable or is it curable?
It is non-curable, and research is going on in the different things at different stages of trial, but currently it's non-curable. And that's why one of the reasons why a doctor takes a long time. On an average, it takes 3 or more neurologists to confirm it's an ALS.
Okay.
And what the doctors do as a practice is that they try to find out from the symptoms, if anything, that they can identify as a curable thing. So once all those gets knocked out, then that is when they write this in Hindi, what is called Maut Ka Praman, which is like a death sentence saying that this is ALS and your lifespan is 2 to 3 years.
Oh, so they also tell you about, that how much life you will be able to further spend. I mean,
on an average.
On an average.
Yes.
Okay.
On an average. But this ALS doesn't have any specific symptoms. To each, it's very different. So for somebody, it starts with hands, others with legs, some with directly with speech.
Okay.
So it's completely varied.
Oh, okay.
And the progress is also completely varied.
So when you talk about the progress, what is the progression trend, if I may ask?
Again, there is absolutely no similar trend between two different ALS patients. And that makes our doctor's life also very difficult to gauge if I'm doing so and so things, if I'm taking such and such supplements, whether that is helping me or not. Because and the progression is also not at a graduated level or a slow process or a fast process. It
Okay.
goes in spurts.
So basically, if I may say, then different bodies tend to react differently to ALS.
Absolutely.
Okay. So as you said, there is no treatment as of now, and the doctors are doing the research for coming out with the cure, and we do not know by when it will be out. But during the treatment, I mean, whatever treatment, whatever supplements doctors give, does it help to prolong the duration and reduce the effect of ALS on the body? And do they also give you any exercise or anything, so that it can help you to, cope up with this particular disease?
Yes, you do have multiple things. There is a medicine called Lilutor, which didn't agree with me, that is supposed to extend your life by a few months. Then
Hmm.
there is Elinabon, which is supposed to extend your life by a few more months.
Okay.
So it's in months, not even in years. You have to do physiotherapy, you have to do speech therapy, occupational therapies. I do yoga, I do meditation, pranayam, breathing exercise, plus the various supplements. Plus, you have to have a very high nutrition, protein, uh, food supplement. So
Okay.
a combination of all of these
Hmm.
and overall, above all, have to have a very sound frame of mind.
Okay. And each of the supplements and medicines which you take will also have its own side effects, I believe.
Generally, they don't. Like, yes, like Realtor didn't agree with me. My liver thing started playing up.
Hmm.
SGOT, SGPOT went up. But for many, it has worked, and there's hardly a side effect to it uh, because these are all tested earlier, previously. Supplements also are decent enough, and there's it can't get worse than what you have. So
Okay.
that way it doesn't impact you that badly. But yes, if something doesn't agree with the stomach, then you have uh, the normal digestion problem and other things that is there.
So these medicines, whatever is being given, does it also have some sort of steroids or something?
No, there's no steroid.
Okay.
So it's mostly the B12 and different
Okay.
vitamins which are
Okay.
there.
Understand. Understand. So apart from, impacting physically, I'm sure it also impacts mentally as well. So how are you handling it mentally, Rajiv, with this kind of a situation?
Yeah, I'll tell you the way my journey was initially when on the date of diagnosis and 30 days since then, I was into the more completely breaking down every now and then,
Hmm.
crying, going through all the imagining how my children would be growing up without me. I have my daughter who is now in 10th. Last year she was in the before eighth final. My son, 2 years younger to him, my wife had to take the entire burden, all that. So
Hmm.
you go through that, then one day I was diagnosed on 28th February last year. In on 31st of March, I decided enough is enough. I've been into insurance sales for almost 17 years. So I start something on my own. So I hit the field and started talking about business.
Okay.
So for me, the course that I took from there as a passion to improve people's insurance portfolio. It
Okay.
gives me a huge pleasure. It gives me a huge satisfaction when
Hmm.
I'm able to work on somebody's portfolio, either save money for him or give him a better benefit, which is actually required because there aren't many insurance professionals who give an unbiased solution to the client.
Okay.
And in fact, it goes even when my neurologist asks me, what do you do for relaxation? Because I am completely tone deaf. Music
Mhm.
doesn't make any difference to my life.
Okay.
Art also, I don't think I got the acumen to appreciate it much.
Mhm.
So, but the passion that I picked up on this is something that is keeping me in truly in high spirit.
Okay. So when exactly did you get to know, Rajiv, that you have ALS? How did you find out about this situation?
So it was a journey of 3 years. Way back when I was in Calcutta, 2016, is once first time I realized was I was buying a shirt in a shop in the airport, and I
Okay.
couldn't put the cufflink buttons, so
Okay.
my fingers kind of cramped. So that's why I realized that something is not good.
Okay.
I asked all the doctors, they asked me to do all salt tests and this test, that test. Nothing worked out.
Mhm.
In 2017, I came to Bombay. One of my friends, sister-in-law, she recommended two neurologists went there, and they initially diagnosed it as something called Hirayama.
Okay.
And then Hirayama doesn't have a cure. It is also a nerve degenerating disease, but the pace of degeneration is very slow.
Okay.
So I went through that for 1 year, post which again I went back for a second checkup,
Okay.
second follow up. And that's when I told him, I remember one incident where after two pegs, I felt a slur. So I
Mhm.
told Seema that I think I felt a slur only after two pegs. I hope everything is okay. She would she said what normally wife would say, "नहीं
Mhm.
नहीं ज़्यादा पी लिया होगा you only think two pegs."
Okay.
So we
Yeah.
narrated this incident to the neurologist. He said, if this is a thing,
Hmm.
then let's observe for another 3 months, and we might have to change our line of investigation.
Okay.
That is when after 3 months again we went back. By then there was overall degeneration in the muscles, and I also had one choking incident while swallowing water.
Okay.
Post which we did there's something called EMG and NCB, muscle and nerve conduction test. After which on 28th February it was diagnosed as ALS.
Okay. And this was last year,
2019, yes.
2019. Okay. Actually, that was one of my other questions. I mean, how do you measure the degeneration of the muscles? You mentioned about two tests just now, right?
EMG
EMG. Okay.
and NCB.
Okay.
This is one, but these tests are slightly painful because they pass electric shocks,
Oh.
even though it's a smaller quantity.
Mm-hmm.
That is one. Otherwise, there is an ALS score, which is
Okay.
at 48, you are a normal person.
Okay.
So there's a score if you are able to eat on your own or you're
Mm-hmm.
being fed. When you're able to walk without a support to walking with a support.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go to a wheelchair and then bed rest. So currently out of 48, my score is 39.
Okay. I can somewhat correlate with this test because, you remember when we used to stay in Mumbai, Riddhi Garden, just next
Yes,
to your building.
yeah.
So there, one fine morning, I woke up and my entire half of the face was paralyzed. And I have not told this to anybody. I thought it was just like probably some sort of stress or something would be there, and I went to office just like that. I was not able to move any of my facial parts, and then I realized that I was not even able to drink water properly. And then I somehow found that there's something wrong. And then I came back in the night. Ritu took me to the doctor, and then that's when I got to know that I had Bell palsy. So every morning I used to go to that Gokul Dham center for this test, wherein they pass electric shocks on various areas of your muscle on
Yes.
the face. So I used to take that, come home, get ready, and then go to office. And I used to wear specs and cover my face so that nobody can know. And I actually used to go to office every day in that condition also. So for 2 months or so, I continued like that, and gradually I came out of that. I mean, it's actually painful. So I can realize what you must have gone through. So now, as you said, you were diagnosed with ALS in 2019, and now we are almost, towards the end of 2020. How are your kids handling this situation? Are they aware of this situation that you are dealing with, both your kids?
As well, we've spoken with our kids about everything.
Okay.
They know it all. Yeah.
Okay.
There are times when they break down, especially Kea, my older one.
Yeah.
Because she actually realizes what's going to happen. My son Krishiv sees Rajeev normal, so he is not able to figure out. So there are times when both of them have their breakdown in different ways. Kea is more realistic about it. Rishiv, on the other hand, is a little younger, I suppose, and more playful, so he hasn't yet got it. I know that they are nervous about it, but they're handling it in their own ways.
Okay.
So, and it's also clashing with their ages where things are changing for them.
Right.
Both of them have become teenager. I mean, one is going to become a teenager in the next few days, and the other one has taken on all the burden of 10th grade and all of that. So she's stressed in other ways.
Yeah, I actually was going through the pictures. I saw they have grown quite big now. I saw them when they were very small. And
Yeah.
Kia, especially, I think she's even crossed your height, I believe now. She is taller than you.
She looks taller. She's not yet. Yeah, I mean, she will hopefully.
At par. Okay. Okay. She's in 10th now.
Yeah, she's in 10th right now. So she has her stress there. Plus, she's listening to. She heard the podcast where it suddenly hit her when Rajeev talks about a few years only to live.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't go so graphically in telling them this, and it hit her a bit, and that so she handles it very differently. She has her own nervous sections of breaking down and things like that. So yeah, I mean, they're handling it differently, but I think they're handling it pretty well so far. We have to go through some counseling as a family, especially for the kids and for me. So yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll get around to do that. Now we are in the acceptance mode. In the beginning, you're just wondering why and start thinking about why should this happen.
Yeah.
And now we've got into that acceptance mode, and we want to do, and of course we've started doing a lot for it. We try and support Rajeev in every way. And yeah, I think the frame of mind is very important for him and for all of us.
I'm sure, because you support the kids also, and you have to help Rajeev also and manage the house as well. So how are you both? Sorry, go on.
Sorry, I said, and we have my in-laws also living here, so they should not get too stressed as well. My mother-in-law and father-in-law.
Oh, they're staying with you?
Handle it. No, they stay down the road.
Okay.
But yeah, we are in touch. Since we just live here.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So and they themselves, I mean, knowing that their child is going through this is very tough for them. So we have to handle all of that. Yeah.
So how are you guys keeping yourself socially active? And I'm sure that you guys might be more active now, in your social circle.
Yeah, it's amazing how many people have reached out to us, and they see, keep constantly telling us that they're there with us, and so that is nice. I mean, it's nice to know that we have people around who can be of help. We've got very, very good friends. One of them being your brother and Anita.
Yeah, Gaurav,
Yeah, we are very close, and yeah, so it really feels good that we can pick up the phone and talk to them. And if you're feeling down, we just need to reach out to our friends, our family. Everyone is there. I think they are trying to be there for us, and they are a little worried. I think some people feel like if they overdo it, then it's like making us look like charitable cases. I think everybody's trying their best. One amazing incident is Rajiv's classmates, his MBA classmates. They've actually set up a fund for us, for me and the kids, which is amazing.
Wow.
Which is amazing. I mean, I don't know in this day and age who does that kind of thing. So it's quite amazing.
That's really nice.
People, yeah. So, yeah.
So how often do you go out on drives?
After 6 months, last week is the first time we went out on a drive.
Okay.
Because Bombay is quite bad. So we haven't done that at all.
So apart from this, lockdown situation, but otherwise, you guys are okay to drive down to some other location if needed?
Yes.
Okay.
We actually do a lot of road trips. In fact, because we had a dog till last month, Pepper.
That was really sad. Actually, I saw that news. He expired last month, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, she was responsible for most of my highway driving, and I would have done at least not less than 30,000 odd kilometers of highway driving with her.
Oh, okay.
So, because we never wanted her to travel and go through the pains of traveling by air or any other mode, and she loved her car drives.
Right.
So I've done umpteen trips from, initially started off from Chennai to Ooty, could have been around 15-20 trips. Chennai, Bangalore, can't count how many numbers. Bombay, Bangalore, and towards the last few years it has been Bangalore, Calcutta.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that you even posted about that trip, and I believe from Calcutta when you came back to Mumbai, that also was by road, I believe.
So that was the first AC, but from Calcutta we went Fortnite road trip to Meghalaya and Assam.
Oh, you went there.
Up to Arunachal Pradesh.
Amazing.
And few things that we always wanted to do and also kept in mind, that not to halt in any place which is touristy in nature.
Right.
Because that is where the crowd is, to went to places like Snorkeling and lot of other places.
Okay. So let me ask you something interesting now about your both of you, Seema and Rajiv. How did you guys meet? And who approached whom? I think, Seema, I should ask this question to you.
I think you should ask Rajiv this
No.
Because I always leave out the details, and he tells the story best.
No, I'll come to him. I'll come to him for the details. But you tell me frankly, who approached whom first? Did you propose to him or he proposed to you? And where exactly and how did you meet?
It was we worked in the same organization, and he worked in the Chennai office, and I worked in the Bangalore office. And one day, I suppose I had just joined, and I was being ragged by my floor where I worked, saying that people, when they complete a certain number of days, they're supposed to treat the whole floor to pastries.
Okay.
So I said, okay. So I had a call. So I left, and I made sure that everyone was given the pastry, and I left on a call.
Mm-hmm.
And after after I came back, I saw a mail, an intranet mail saying thank you for the pastry. So I replied saying you're most welcome, and I had no idea who this person was who had sent me the mail, but I assumed that it's somebody in my office, because or on my floor also, because it was given to my office. So then every day I'd get a message from this person, and generally we decided, okay, let's go down. I mean, he decided that he wanted to chat with me on Yahoo, and I said, okay, let's get on to Yahoo chat. And so we chatted on Yahoo a few times, and I think within maybe a few days, he decided to propose to me on Yahoo, which I said, no, what's wrong with you? You must be nuts. And I said, no way. So I said, I don't even know you. And then I saw a mail which came on to our intranet. It was also from a Rajeev Shastry, and he was inviting the whole of SchoolNet to his brother's wedding. And I was thinking to myself, who is this moron? I mean, if you can invite somebody for your brother's wedding, and even if 10 people say, okay, chalo, we'll go for the wedding. Imagine how expensive that is. And I'm thinking, I don't even know him. Why would I go for his brother's wedding? And then I just let it be. And then it continued, and I realized, oh, the moron is the same person who I get the internet messages from. But all along, I played along thinking that he knew who I was, but I had no idea who he was. I was just pretending to know who he was, and I used to think that he was in the same office. So I just continued, a little knowing that he was in another city. And then these talks kept on going on. Then we started talking on the phone, and then finally he had come down in between, because we were having an icebreaker, and all the people who had joined that office at that point were all supposed to meet. And again, I'm sitting in a group of people, and somebody stands up and he says, I'd like to introduce Seema Kilpadi. And I'm looking at this person thinking, who is this, and how does he know me? And he stands up and he tells my whole life history to everybody, saying who I was, what I did, and all of that. And then I realized, acha, this is Rajeev Shastry. And then he asked me, then another time he came down, he came to, we were, I think it was around the same time where we were, where there was a concert. It was a Bryan Adams concert. And I had tickets to go for it. And I was pretending to be sick. I didn't want to be a part of the evening program of which was happening, the icebreaker. And I told my boss, I'm very sick, I cannot come for it. And he was okay with it. And suddenly Rajeev lands up at my PG place, and he says, I believe you're very sick, I've come to see you. And my friends are all waiting because we have to go for the concert. And I had to tell him, yeah, I'm very sick, I'm not going to be able to come. And then he left, and then we ran away to the concert. And
so that was in Bangalore only?
That was in Bangalore, yeah.
Okay.
Then Rajeev left after that, and it just happened that the next time that he was in Bangalore, one of my friends, her brother was very, very sick, and she was not in town. Actually, she is Matangi, who was our Cupid. She's the person who brought us together. She was our HR manager, and she was not in town, so I had to take care of her brother, and I was stuck in a hospital with him, and Rajeev was in town, and I requested him if he could also stay back, because staying in that hospital all by myself, taking care of him, and I thought I could use that help, and Rajeev volunteered to stay, and he stayed back, and I think that's when something happened, and
that is a chance he was looking for, right?
Yeah, I suppose. So then he went back, and then again on Yahoo chat he proposed to me, and that was, I think, on the 5th of September. I remember that clearly because we worked with teachers, and it was Teachers' Day. And then I said, okay. And then I told him, let me call you. And I went and called him up, and he said, so will you marry me? I said, okay. So he said, okay, as in, yes, you'll marry me. I said, yeah, okay. He said, aur ek baar bolo. I said, nahi, itne baar nahi bol sakti hu main. So he said, shall I tell my parents? So I said, no way, I haven't told my parents. So yeah, so he proposed in September. October, he met my parents. November we got engaged, and December we were married. And
Wow.
in all of this, he said, "Can we get married? If we get married, can we get married in year ending March?" So I said,
March.
"I hate the summer months. I've always wanted to get married in December. I love that
Okay.
month, December." So we got the last but one day of December, which was supposedly a good day, and we got married. So the rest is history.
Amazing. So Rajiv, what do you have to say about this entire thing? Any details did she miss out which you may want to highlight?
Yeah, there are plenty of details that she missed out, and so when I start pointing out that details she missed out, you will know how difficult it was for me to get a yes from her.
And this lasted for how long? For how long you had to wait?
So I proposed to her in the month of May, and obviously she rejected it, but I was used to it. In college, just a couple of years before that, we had a club called FOSLA,
Okay.
Frustrated One-Sided Lovers Association. So our logo was a broken heart.
Okay.
So having a broken heart was the norm. So I proposed to her in May. She said immediately no. Then finally in September she said yes.
So not very
And
long actually. So
all this happened over Hotmail chats.
okay. So one quick question I want to add here, Rajiv, the symptoms which you said, for ALS, you said it varies, So does it match with any other similar, is there any other similar disease which also has similar kind of symptoms? Like you said, it was identified as something else initially, and when you started the treatment.
So this actually mirrors a lot of motor neuron diseases.
Okay.
And when I hear lectures from very senior people who have looked after 600, 700 ALS patients, they say that there are many that mirror this, and so it becomes even more difficult. So like the other person whom I spoke to last week, he started with speech. So initially they were treating him with acid reflux, and then something else, and then myasthenia gravis and some other things, because his only speech was impacted.
Okay. So over the period of these 2 years, how do you think it has impacted you in terms of, you might be seeing the progression, how it is progressing, right, with you. So what all challenges you started, facing right from the beginning and up till now?
So initially, overall, first my walk was impaired. Secondly, my writing is impaired. I can't sign.
Okay.
So I'm opening a bank statement with my thumb impression.
Okay.
For me to walk down the stairs, it's not possible because my foot doesn't come up.
Okay.
I can't lift. When I'm walking, I walk with a strap with a figure of 8, holding my foot to my ankle. And I also need to have something close by so that in case I lose my balance, I don't fall, because I normally tend to fall once in 3 or 4 months. That's the frequency of falling which is happening over there. Speech, I can't. I'm very careful when I'm drinking water, because if it goes to the windpipe, then I get asphyxiation.
Right. Yeah.
So each of these, my speech also is quite labored. My neck starts hurting after I speak for a while.
Oh, okay.
So overall, there is a physical degeneration.
Okay. Probably, I think we are almost towards the end of the show. We don't have much time left. So
one more thing about any motor neuron disease is that it is completely a rich man's disease. poor person cannot afford. Yeah, because of for a poor person it is much better because you know that there is no cure, but over a period of time you keep spending a lot of money,
Hmm.
which is basically you are digging into your life saving, which you would want to be left behind for your family members for their survival.
Hmm.
And this is what you're eating up. Like if you take today, it costs me almost a month or lakh a month only on various therapies, medicines, etc.
Okay.
Tomorrow that will increase to having a nursing at home, then having two nursings at home. So two people nursing you at home. So this is a very expensive any motor neuron disease. If you take Parkinson's, is also very expensive disease to have.
I understand what you're saying. Obviously, I mean, all these treatments and whatever, exercises or things that you undergo, I mean, these are obviously expensive. I understand.
I'm rich. I'm not rich, but I have rich friends. So I've been very lucky in my life that, as Seema said, my batchmates immediately stood up and even before my
Yeah.
funds were depleting, they created a fund
Yeah.
to support me. That was such a huge mental high for me.
Right. I mean, that
And
that kind
every
of a
now
support
and
really
then,
helps. Yeah. Obviously.
yeah, every now and then they say, "Okay, your back is covered by us.
Yeah.
Don't worry, just keep doing what you're doing."
Absolutely. I mean, आगे की
So
चिंता
that's
छोड़
a
दो.
blessing.
Just live in the moment. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So Seema, like, as Rajiv has found his passion in managing the portfolios, so what is your passion, if I may ask?
My passion is animals. I do a
Okay.
lot for animals. So and of course my children. My children are everything, and I quit my job 16 years
Hmm.
back for them,
Okay.
and I look after and okay, talking about animals, I look after about 16 odd stray dogs and about 5 6 cats. So yeah, so
So
I do
you you
I like
are
doing that.
so you are associated with some NGOs as well?
No, I'm not. This I'm doing this all on my poor husband's money.
No, you
So
got
my
it wrong.
rich poor
Rich,
husband's money.
absolutely, yeah. Okay. Okay. Now that's really nice to know because having pets also at home releases your stress because I have realized this because I used to have a high BP. I used to suffer with a very high BP earlier when I used to stay there itself in Riddhi Gardens, Mumbai. And when I was working in Accenture, so one fine day I got this attack and I was not even able to walk. And somebody had to drop me back. They had to drive me back to home. And at times we always used to feel that we should have pets, and all my uncles and everywhere we used to have pet. Even I used to have pet when I was studying. So my daughter, Shreya, her, so she always used to say, Papa, मेरे को एक dog चाहिए. And मैंने कहा यार मुंबई में रहते हैं, छोटे से घर है, खुद रह लो या फिर आप डॉग का रख लो. I just used to joke it out. So finally, when we shifted to Pune, so the very first thing which I did was I got a dog for her. So she is still with us.
A lab.
Named, yeah, we took a lab, a female lab, and we named her as Ginger. Ginger भी I think Shreya ने ही उसका नाम रखा है. So
Yeah.
so both of them are my daughters, and then it really helps because even I used to travel a lot, and uski wajah se I used to just leave them and I used to travel. I was mentally satisfied कि हाँ somebody is there at home to keep them safe. So okay, so I think we are towards the end of our show. We are almost running out of time. So Rajiv, before we end this show, any parting advice for all our listeners out there?
Yes, I've gone through an experience, and my honest sharing of feelings is that you will always go through the downs. There's no way that one can avoid this. One has to live with that. I don't say face it bravely,
Yeah.
Just live in that moment, go through the lows, and then you will finally come out as in the highs. And
Right.
I always like to once back when my wrist got degenerated,
Mm-hmm.
then it sent a message to my mind that degeneration ho gaya. So few days I was low, and then again suddenly I came up. I
Hmm.
mean, it's a mind's game. Mind will play that game. You keep
Absolutely.
playing along with it, but do not try to force it to do anything else.
Right. Right.
Just go with the flow, what the mind says, and you will eventually come up because adversity comes as a package deal with courage. It doesn't
Correct.
come on its own.
Very rightly said. What exactly do you have in mind that you want to achieve in your life? What exactly it is that you want to do in future?
Yes, I've got tons of things, and most of these are if God keep helping me. One day I would like to build an MND hospital, motor neuron disease hospital for the weaker segment of the society. I
Mm-hmm.
would want to have a school for the poor. So a lot of things which I want to definitely an animal shelter because
Mm-hmm.
that is what Hima lives by. Even
Right.
today, the 20-25 minutes that she spends in feeding her dogs, that is
Mm-hmm.
her moment where
Right.
she is at peace with herself.
Right.
So there are a lot of these things that I would want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I want to give back a lot in terms of what Indians need as pure insurance
Mm-hmm.
for their protection, for their medical costs. So tons of things I have in to do. I'll keep doing what I'm doing today, and
Right.
hopefully each of these will get achieved.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rajiv, for sharing your thoughts and your experiences with us today. Thank you so much. Thanks to Seema as well. And I really appreciate that. The kind of support she is providing you, and I'm really happy that you have so many good friends, who are having your back. This is the kind of time when you actually get to know who are your real friends, because nowadays, as Seema rightly mentioned, in today's world it is really very hard to find real good friends. So and touch wood, I mean, kudos to everyone.
Thanks a lot, Bharat, for having us over. Seema has been completely a rock for me. Uh, when she is around, I don't think about anything beyond what I
Right.
need to do for myself to get better. And all that
Absolutely.
persuasion that I did 19 years back, I'm so happy I did that today. She has been a lot in her life from her father's kidnapping by the Bodos to her probable multiple sclerosis to a mitral valve replacement, open heart surgery, in spite of which we are leading a very happy life. And without
Oh,
she being there, would not have been possible.
so was he in army, Seema? Was your father in army?
So my father was in the TS states.
Okay, yeah, there's
So
something similar.
Bharat, all these compliments that Rajiv has given me and me being a rock, the only reason I can be a rock is because of his attitude about doing things. The way he's taken all of this and his positive,
Yeah.
demeanor, everything works out better. My kids are not as affected because
Hmm.
of his positivity.
Absolutely.
I am not
Absolutely.
that affected because of the way he takes things each day. Yeah, I mean, this is something I have to do and I will do forever. But he doesn't have to. I mean, he can break down anytime, but he doesn't. That is the most important.
No,
And
absolutely. It's his positive, positivity, obviously, and his attitude. But it's not just that, Seema. I know because I know you personally. I have seen you. I have met you. So I know you have that kind of a persona. So you are a strong woman. ऐसा नहीं है कि वही है because it comes also from within, so वो जो एक बिंदास attitude वाला जो रहता है ना एक बंदे में, so you have that, and I think it comes from your father, I believe.
yeah, I suppose so. Yes.
Yeah.
अभी
So
जब मैं जमाने में बिल्लू कितना रोएंगे आज का दिन हंसी खेल में
Absolutely,
हंसी खुशी में बिता
absolutely.
दे.
I mean, that is the attitude, yeah, because even I live in today's moment. I don't, look back much, and I don't worry too much about the future. So मैं भी आज में ही जीता हूँ. मैं बोलते रहते हैं कि यार बाइकिंग क्यों करते हो, ये क्या करते हो, what do you get? मैंने कहा just chuck it. I mean, I feel like I'll do it. So I just live in the present. And I think that is how it should be. Thank you so much for talking to us today, Rajiv and Seema. It was really lovely and delightful conversation today that we had. And all the very best to you both, and in your happy life, and all the very best to your children as well. Best of luck for your daughter for her 10th this year, and we'll talk to you soon. And we'll catch up soon enough. And in case if you happen to come to Pune or make any plans for any drive, just do let us know and we'll catch up sometime.
Sure.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, both of you. And all the best to you guys. Thanks. And stay home and stay safe. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Take care. So that was Rajeev Shastry, an amazing person full of positivity, living his life to the fullest in spite of suffering from ALS. And Seema Shastry, love of his life and support. ये जानते हुए भी कि राजीव को नर्व डिजेनरेशन ऑर्डर है, which is a non-curable critical illness and deteriorates as every day passes by. बावजूद इसके राजीव और सीमा ने इसका सामना करना सीख लिया, and they decided that it will not stop them to live their life to the fullest. उनके इस जज्बे को मेरा सलाम. Thank you all so much for listening to this episode of the podcast show Candid Talks with BharatV. If you like the show, please do like, subscribe and share with others. If listening on Apple Podcast, please do not forget to rate 5 stars. If on Spotify or YouTube, do not forget to subscribe and share. इसके साथ हम आज का सफ़र यहीं समाप्त करते हैं. बहुत जल्द मुलाकात होगी अगले शो पर एक नए टॉपिक के साथ, नए लोगों के साथ, नए अंदाज में on Candid Talks with BharatV. Stay home, stay safe. This is Bharat Vatsa signing off for today. दुआओं में याद रखना. जय हिंद.